All right, welcome back. We're on Module 2, Lesson 3, Problem Set. And in this lesson, at the end, you are going to be able to write and explain numerical expressions using models. So we'll get more into that, but make sure that you have the things that you'll need. Most likely, we're going to be using definitely the book, pencil. We might use our whiteboard and whiteboard marker here and there, but just have it ready off to the side. And let's get started. So for number one, we're going to be asked to draw a model or draw a picture and then write a numerical expression. That means just the problem. We're not going to be solving anything at all. We're going to draw a model and we're going to just write the problem out. So 1a says the sum of 8 and 7 doubled. Well, the sum means add, so we're going to be taking 8 plus 7 and then we're going to double that. So let's draw a model for that. So this is going to represent 8 plus 7. And now we're going to double that. That means we're going to draw it again. And that's all we're going to do for our model. For our numerical expression, we're going to be writing it out as a problem using numbers and symbols. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is adding 8 plus 7. So we need to put parentheses because parentheses tell us we do those things first. We're going to do that first, and then we're going to double it. So we could do add 8 plus 7 again, but we can also represent doubled by doing times 2. And this is our multiplication sentence, or actually we can write it in a different order. We can go 2 times parentheses 8 plus 7, as long as we do 8 plus 7 first, and we put the 2 times in front or in the back, it doesn't matter, we'll still get the same answer. B is 4 times the sum of 14 and 16. Remember, the sum means addition, so we're doing 26, not 16. And we're doing it 4 times. So we're going to go 14 plus 26. Make a little rectangular model. There's the first time. And now we've got to do it 3 more times. Notice that I'm not solving anything at all. I'm just taking what it says up above and represent it in a diagram or a model. So we did 14 plus 26 4 times. So we can write the numerical expression 4 times and then parentheses 14 plus 26, because we would add this first, get the answer, and then multiply it by 4. Or we could do 14 plus 26, add those two up, and then multiply it by 24. So multiply it by 4. Okay, 1C says 3 times the difference, and the difference is the opposite of the sum, so it's subtraction. The difference between 37 and 5/10 and 24 and 5/10. So that means we're going to be doing 37 and 5/10, take away 24 and 5/10, and then we're going to be doing that 3 times. So I'm going to quickly write the first thing that I would do, 37 and 5/10, take away 24 and 5/10, put that in a rectangular figure, and I'm going to do it 2 more times for 3 times total. And you might need to do a little bit of squeezing into the space provided for you. Once again, notice I am not solving anything at all. I'm just taking the problem and modeling it as a picture. All right, so 37 and 5/10, take away 24 and 5/10 3 times. So we can write that as 37 and 5/10, take away 24 and 5/10. We can do it times 3, or we can do it 3 times, parentheses 37 and 5/10, take away 24 and 5/10. As long as the parentheses are around the subtraction part of the problem, we will get the same answer if we do all the calculations correct. All right, 1D, we're looking for the sum so the addition problem of 3/16 and 2 nines. So think of 3/16 as is writing 16 3 times, and 2 nines is like saying 9 2 times. So what we're going to do is this model is going to be, we're going to show that we have 3/16. So here's 3/16, and then we're going to add the 2 nines to it, and all that means is making 2 more boxes, but changing those boxes to be nines. So that's our model for the sum of 3/16 and 2 nines. What it looks like as an expression is, well, how many 16s do we have? We have 3 of them, so we can write a multiplication sentence. We can say 3 times 16 in parentheses, and we can add it with the 2 nines, and another way of writing 2 nines as a multiplication sentence is 2 times 9. 1e, we're finding the difference, remember that subtraction, between 4 25s, so I'm going to circle that, and 3 25s, so I'm going to circle that. This one's a little bit tricky when we do our model. Remember, 4 25s means the number 25 4 times. So let's draw the model. 25, 25, 25, and 25. We have 4 25s. Now the difference means we're going to take away 3 25s. So what's kind of easy about this model is that we do not need to actually draw anything else except for showing taking away 3 25s, and that means takes 3 x's and mark off 3 25s. So we have 1 25 left over. Now our numerical expression is going to be, well, what did we start off with? We started off with 4 25s. That means as a multiplication sentence, that's going to be 4 times 25. And then we took away 3 25s, so the difference means subtraction. We're going to take away, in parentheses, 3 25s. And that is 1e, and we're going to skip 1f and go do some other problems. So number 2 is, the directions say, write the numerical expression in words and then solve. So we are now going to be finding some answers to these problems. So first we have 12 times 5 plus 25. So we say that in words, 12 times, and we're going to say the word the sum. We're not going to say 12 times 5 plus 25. We're going to say 12 times the sum of 5 and 25. Notice I didn't say the sum of, oops, forgot the word of. The sum of 5 plus 25. I said the sum of 5 and 25. That's our numerical expression using words for number 2a. Now 2b, we're doing the difference between 62 and 12 11 times. So our numerical expression can be, in words, could be stated as 11 times the difference between 62 and 12. Notice I did not use the word minus, and notice I did not use the word subtraction. I used the difference, because the difference means the answer to a subtraction problem. The subtraction problem is 62 minus 12. So when I do this, I will get an answer, and then I will multiply it by 11. So that is my numerical expression using words for 2b. So for 2c, I'm looking at what's in the parentheses. I'm adding 45 plus 55. Looks like I'm finding the sum, the answer to an addition problem, and then I'm doing it 23 times. So my word in numerical expression is 23 times the sum of 45 and 55. Once again, guys, remember I'm not using the word plus. I don't have the word plus in my sentence, nor do I have a plus sign in my sentence. We need to use the word sum and just say that we are using the sum of 45 and 55 as our addition problem. The last one right here, we have 30 times 2 plus 8 times 2. So it's kind of similar to the 3 16s and the 2 9s. Think of it as we have 30 2's. We have 30 2's, and then we're going to add 8 2's to find our final answer. So to write that out in words, we're going to say the sum of 30 2's, not 32, but 30 2's and 8 2's. This represents, in word form, the sum of 30 2's and 8 2's as 30 times 2 in parentheses plus 8 times 2 in parentheses. So now let's go back and solve some of these for an actual answer. So 2a, we're going to actually add what's in parentheses first. 5 plus 25 is 30. That's easy. And we're going to now multiply it by 12. Now, this is not really hard multiplication because we can find some basic math facts. I do know that if I multiply 12 times 3, I can get my answer pretty quick. Think of first, well, if I know that 10 times 3 is 30, that means 11 times 3 is 33, and 12 times 3 would be 36. So I'm going to write 36 over on the right side, but it's actually going to be 12 times 30, so that means I need to add that 0 and 30 to the 36 over on the right. So it's 360 is my final answer for 2A. 2B, our subtraction first would be 62 take away 12. Well, if I did 62 and I took away 10, that would be 52. And then I would take away another 2, and that from 52, and that would be 50. So 62 minus 12 is 50, and I'm multiplying that by 11. Okay, there's a basic math fact of just 5 times 11, you should know is 55. But that 0 and 50 we need to add to 55 in our answer because that will give us 550 as our final answer. 2C, we're going to do 45 plus 55. So let's see if we can do some mental math really quick here. Since there's this 5 1s and 55, if I took that 5 1s and I added it over to the 45, that changes it to 50 quickly. And since I took away 5 from the 55, that would change that to 50. So I quickly found out that 45 plus 55 equals 100, and then I'm going to multiply it by 23. So 100 times 23 means 23 is going to get 100 times bigger. That means 23 is going to move 2 spots on the place value chart. And that means we're going to be adding 2 zeros to the end, and gives us the answer of 2,300. And 2D, our last one, 30 times 2, what's 30 doubled? That means that's going to be 60. Plus 8 times 2, 8 doubled will give us 16. So 60 plus 16 would give you 56. All right, let's look at 3 and see what we need to do quickly. We have to compare the two expressions using the greater than, less than, or equal to sign. In the space beneath each pair of expressions, do a quick little explanation how you can compare without calculating. We're not finding an answer. Draw a model if that helps you. All right, guys, we're not finding exact answers here. We're trying to see if we can quickly see which one would be bigger. So we have 4 times the sum of 20 and 5 over here. And then we have the sum of 20 and 5 12 times. So right off the bat, the sum are the same in both questions, but this one is 24 times, this one is 12 times. So this one, the one on the left is going to give you a greater number. So let's go ahead and just state that 24 times is greater than 12 times. And that will give you definitely a bigger answer when you had to calculate to a final solution. So let's go ahead and look at 3B. And like I said in previous videos, if you're falling behind, always hit pause, finish what you need to write down, and then unpause and you'll get caught up with us. So we have on the left-hand side 18 times 27. On the right-hand side, we have 20 27s minus 1 27. So think of it, 20 27s, take away 1 27. You're going to be left with 19 27s. That's the same thing as 19 times 27. So you can already see, as we're writing this down, the expression on the right is going to be greater than the one on the left. The one on the left is going to be less than the one on the right. So our explanation will be that the one on the right, this one has one more 27 than the one on the left, which makes this one right here greater than the one on the left. All right, so 3C, we have on the left 19 times 9, and on the right we have 3 19s tripled. So the one on the right, we're actually going to do a little model. We're going to say 3 19s, that actually represents 3 times 19. And there we did it once, and we have to triple it. So I have to do it 2 more times. And so you can see right here that the whole picture that we did 3 times does represent 9 times 19, because we have a 3 here, a 3 here, and a 3 here. If you add those up, you're going to get 9. So we have 9 19s on the right, and then 19 times 9 on the left. We can actually reverse this, the positions, and we would get the same exact answer. So this proves that they're both equal to each other. So number 4, we're going to say Mr. H wrote the sum, that's the addition, of 7 15s, that's like saying 7 times 15, and 38 15s. 38 15s also means 38 times 15 on the board. They want us to draw a model and write the correct expression. So we're going to draw a model and we're going to write the actual problem out. We're not going to be solving. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to show 7 15s. So I'm going to write my first 15 right here, and I'm going to do it 7 times. But I'm going to do a shortcut. I don't want to write 7 15s all the way out. So I'm going to say, here are my 3 15s. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do a box that means ... That means I'm continuing on. And my last one is going to be a 15 box, but it's going to be my 7th box. So this shows you that I have 1 15, 2 15s, 3 15s. Right here is 4, 5, 6, and then here's my 7 15s. Because the next one, 38 15s, I'm pretty sure you don't want to write 15 38 times. So we can go 15, that's the first time, second time, third time. Now, since this is going to be a longer model, I'm going to have the part where we're not going to be listing the numbers a little bit bigger, longer than the 7 15s. ... And my last one is going to be 15, and it's going to be my number 38. And so what we're trying to find is the total, the sum, adding all of these 15s up together. So how we're going to represent that is doing a little like an arrow off to the side, and we want to find out what the total of all of those 15s are. So as our expression, we have a couple ways of doing it. We can say, okay, let's figure out what 7 times 15 is first. And then we would add the sum of the 38 15. So we would then multiply 38 times 15, find the answer of that. So once again, multiplying 7 times 15, get an answer, multiply 38 15, get an answer, and then add those together. Another way you could do it is, since we're doing all of these 15s together, we could say, hey, you can say, since there's 7 in the first picture, and we add it to the 38 in the second diagram, add those number of 15s together, and then times it by 15, that will also give you your answer to the one on the top as well. So 2 different ways of writing our expressions out. The parentheses tell us that we must do those first. Otherwise, if we do those second, or we do another combination, we're going to get the wrong answer. Number 6. A box contains 24 oranges. Let's circle 24 oranges. Mr. Lee ordered 8 boxes for his store and 12 boxes for his restaurant. They want us to write an expression to show how to find the total number of oranges ordered. So we're not finding the actual number of how many oranges he ordered, we're writing the problem out. So for his store, he bought 8 boxes, and then we're told that there is 24 oranges in each box, so that's 8 times 24. And then we would add that to the 12 boxes for his restaurant. So that's 12 times 24. Another way we could actually write this is taking the number of boxes that he has to order for his store and his restaurant. So 8, not multiply it, but to add them together, the 8 boxes and the 12 boxes. That would give you 20, mental math. And then we would multiply that by 24 because they want us to find the total number of oranges ordered. And so we could just add them, the 2 number of boxes together, and then multiply it by 24. B says next week, Mr. Lee will double the number of boxes he orders. Let's box that. They want us to write a new expression to show or represent the number of oranges in next week's order. So we're just going to double the number of boxes. So taking 8 times 24, it's no longer going to be 8 times 24. It's going to be 16 times 24 plus 12 times 24 is now going to be 24 times 24 because 12 doubled is 24. So here's our new expression. Or we could do the other way of, okay, he needs 16 boxes for his store and he needs 24 boxes for his restaurant. So 16 plus 24. And then we're going to times that by 24 because each box has 24 oranges in them. So for our last one, 6C, they want us to evaluate, and that means to solve your expressions from part B to find the total number of oranges ordered in both weeks. Circle both weeks. So we're going to look at week number 1. I'm going to do W1 ... And to find out how many oranges he orders for the first week, I'm going to solve for the expression that we wrote, 8 plus 12, and then times it by 24. That's going to be 8 plus 12 is 20 times 24. And I'm going to do some mental math. I know that 2 times 24, if you take 24 and you double it, you add it together twice, would give you 48. So 20 times 24 would be 480. So for week 2, remember from part B, is that he doubled the number of boxes. So if week 1 he had 20 boxes, that means week 2 he's going to order 40 boxes, and there's still 24 oranges in each box. So that means we're going to take 4 and then multiply it by 24. That will give you 96. So 40 times 24 would be 960. Now you're going to go ahead and find the total by adding up 480 and 960. Add your zeros together and the ones, that will give you 0. 8 tens plus the 6 tens would give you 14 tens, so you bring up your 1, bring down your 4, and then 9 hundreds plus 4 hundreds plus 100. So I'm going to do some quick math. 9 and 1, that's an easy 10, plus 1 more is 14. So we have 14, or 1,440. And then finishing up with your sentence, you could state that there are 1,440 oranges ordered in both weeks. Make sure you have oranges as your description of what this number represents. And make sure that you stated that it's been ordered for both weeks, not just 1 week or the second week. It's both weeks together. And end it with a punctuation mark. All right? And that ends our lesson 3 for module 2. I'll see you on the next one, guys.